Do you have bloating and gas or discomfort after eating certain foods? Do you avoid foods because you know they're going to give you trouble? Have you been diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome or other inflammatory bowel diseases? Well, a short-term FODMAP diet may help ease your symptoms till you can find the culprit that's causing them. But what is a FODMAP diet? Stick around and find out. Welcome to the Fabulous Health Show. I'm your host, Terry Chrisman. I'm a whole foods plant-based nutritionist, and this show gives you the tools to help you obtain optimal health so that you can live a long, happy life and age with grace and vitality. I go live every day, US Central Time, November 2021, up until the 19th of November. And after that, I'm going to go once a week, and I will be having on the show at that time. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. Comments. I love hearing from you. Thank you so much. Continue to do that. Okay, here's a disclaimer for you. This show is for educational purposes only, and the information shared today is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease and should not take place of personalized professional medical care. Please consult your primary care physician before making any changes to your diet. Okay, your tummy hurts, you're passing gas, you want to go to the toilet, but when you get there, you can't pass a stool, or worse, it's a waterfall. No one wants to talk about poo, but it's an indicator of your health. Your poo or lack of poo can tell a lot about how healthy your gut is. Now, I talked about the gut microbiome in episode 26 when I talked about fiber. So go back and listen to that for a little bit of background information about how the gut works and why you may be getting some of this gas and bloating. But sometimes when we eat foods, they don't digest properly and they cause this discomfort. Now, this could be due to the FODMAPs in the food. And a FODMAP is an acronym for different types of sugars. So the acronym is F, fermentable, O, oligosaccharides, which are like short chains of sugars, D, disaccharides, 2 sugars in a chain, M, monosaccharides, 1 sugar, and P, polyols, which are sugar alcohols. Now, if these sugars are not broken down properly, they can ferment in the gut, causing this gas, bloating, and pain. And some of the FODMAPs are lactose, which is found in dairy, fructans, which is found in gluten-containing grains and some vegetables, fructose, which is found in fruit and veggies, galacto-oligosaccharides, which are found in beans, and polyols, which, as I mentioned before, are sugar alcohols. And some of these particularly high FODMAP foods include, you're ready for this list, and it breaks my heart when I say this, apples, pears, avocados, peaches, mangoes, leeks, lentils and beans, asparagus, onions, garlic, mushrooms, snow peas, cauliflower, watermelon, some wheat containing pasta and crackers, dairy foods, processed meats, high fructose corn syrup, cashews, and pistachios. Now, if you've been listening to my podcast for the past 47 episodes, you'll know that despite the dairy, the meat, and the high fructose corn syrup, they are all foods that I urge you to eat. But what if they cause you all this stress? That's no good. The other thing is that the fructans and the galacto-oligosaccharides are actually prebiotics. So they feed your healthy gut bacteria. So sometimes this is a real struggle because we want to eat these healthy foods, but our guts are saying no. Okay. Sometimes it's not so obvious which food is causing the problem. So the Monash University in Australia has created a low FODMAP diet to help people find out which foods are the culprits. You can go to monashfodmap.com for information on that diet. Now, a low FODMAP diet is an elimination diet. It's a short-term elimination diet to lessen the symptoms of things like IBS or SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial growth, or any kind of inflammatory bowel disease. So the idea is that you get the list of all the FODMAPs, you tick off all the ones that you're eating, and then you avoid them. You only avoid them for a short period of time, just a couple of weeks, and then under guidance of a nutritionist, dietitian, or doctor, you gradually bring those foods back into your diet one at a time to find out which one is causing you the issue, or which 2 or 3 or 4 are causing you the issue. Now, do not do the low FODMAP diet permanently. It was never made to be a permanent solution, because here's the double-edged sword. What makes a healthy gut is the diversity of plants. So by stopping your intake of all those foods, it's a vast variety of plants, it can actually make your gut more susceptible to dysbiosis, and in turn make it harder to digest the carbohydrates that you are left with. So look at this situation. You're eating all those foods, your guts are talking to you, and it's horrible. So you cut them out completely, cold turkey, never eat them again. And then what happens? Your symptoms might get okay for a short period of time, but then they just get worse. And then you're in a worse place than when you started with. Having a limited amount of fiber, as in the keto diet, go back and watch that episode, or a limited variety of fiber can cause leaky gut syndrome, where partly digested food and other toxins travels through the gut wall into the bloodstream, causing inflammation. Now, by restricting the variety of fiber, by eating less variety of fruits and vegetables, you lessen the amount of short-chain fatty acids that are made in the gut. And short-chain fatty acids make the colon more acidic, which is inhospitable to your bad bacteria. So that's really good for your good bacteria. They also suppress inflammatory microbes such as E. coli and Salmonella, and they are the energy source of colonocytes. And colonocytes are colon-building cells. So short-chain fatty acids can heal a leaky gut, but you can't get lots of short-chain fatty acids unless you eat a lot of fiber. And you know, fiber's causing you the problem. You can't tolerate the food and it makes your symptoms worse. So maybe you got to try the FODMAP diet for a while. And that means eliminate the foods that you think are causing you stress. See how it goes. Don't eliminate all the foods. So for example, if you don't get a tummy ache from eating an apple, don't eliminate apples just because they got high FODMAPs in them. But if you know that you get a tummy ache from eating asparagus, then cut asparagus out of your diet for a while and then try and fix your gut, and then you can bring that back. And normally what happens is people who have these gut issues, it's not just one food. If it was just one food, it'd be easy. So for example, in my case, there are 2 things I cannot eat, and I'm not even going to try and eat them because they hurt me so much. One is maltitol, which is a sugar alcohol, and that's a polyol. Now, do I need to eat maltitol to be a healthy person? No, I do not. And it's usually in processed sugar-free foods. And as I'm trying to avoid processed foods anyway, I cannot eat maltitol. If I want some sweetness in my day, I can eat fruit, I can eat dates, I can even have an itty-bitty bit of sugar if I feel like it. But I don't need to eat maltitol. It's not going to help my gut bacteria by having that in. The other thing is barley. I cannot tolerate barley, but I can tolerate all the other grains, including the gluten-containing grains. So am I going to be less healthy by not having barley? No, because I'm getting all those nutrients, all that fiber, all the phytonutrients from the other grains. So if it's just 1 or 2 foods you can't tolerate, by all means, if they annoy you, just don't eat them. But people with IBS, they can't tolerate a wide variety of foods. So this is where the low FODMAP diet may help. And it's really important that you do it with the guidance of a nutritionist, dietitian, or a gastroenterologist. And the thing is that many people with gut issues already have restricted diets. So you're not just willy-nilly eating all that stuff and then having a sore tummy and knowing what foods hurt you. You've probably already eliminated some foods that you know are really, really uncomfortable for you. And so it's important to sort out the root cause. Once you've found it, then you can heal your gut. And only then you can gradually bring those foods back into your diet. So for more information on FODMAPs, go to monashfodmap.com. You can also try another website that I found, which I found really, really interesting, Diet VS, like versus, dietvsdisease.org. And of course, my favorite gastroenterologist on the planet, Dr. Will Bulsiewicz at theplantfedgut.com. So I hope you found this helpful today. Please leave me your comments and your suggestions. We've only got 3 more podcasts with me talking to you. And after that, we're going to go weekly and we're going to have some guests. If you want to go back and binge, I'm just dropping things. If you want to go back and binge watch episodes of the Fabulous Health Show, please go to fabuloushealth.net. And if you want to take your health to the next level, then by all means, try out my new course. It's called The Quick Road to Fabulous Weight Loss, and it's 25% off all November. Just use the code PODCAST. Okay, have a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.